This is from the NFL Stats tweeting this out. Teams with the worst yards per carry this season. Buccaneers are the worst at 3.5. Raiders, and Jaguars 3.6. Saints 3.7. And then tied for fifth, Chargers and Texans at 3.8 per carry. Texans have been better as of late. Singletary has kind of gotten things going. How important is that to kind of take away that run threat?
Oh, it's very important because then you force Case Keenum into having to throw more, having to make more decision-making, throwing the football down the field. Hopefully leads to him holding onto the ball longer. Singletary is definitely the key back in the Texans offense. Dameon Pierce has majorly regressed since his solid rookie season. Singletary, like you said, has been great as of late. But when you look, they're not that great run blocking this year. They're one spot ahead of the Browns in terms of run blocking. We know about Laramie Tunsil, like I said, but the rest of their line's not that great. So this is where the Browns, the defensive front's going to have to shut down the run early, force Keenum into having to throw the ball. And I think that's where our linebackers and our secondary will be able to attack against what's a weakened Texans receiving core.
All right, when you look at the Browns offense, what do you think it looks like in this one against the Texans defense?
If they can get the running game going, I think that would be huge. Obviously, with how our offensive line has been the last several weeks in terms of injuries, it's not that great. You hope Petonio and Posick will be able to go out there to get some stability and hopefully get the running game going. But if not, it's going to come down to Flacco and his arm. Houston has a great secondary, or pretty good secondary. Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson, Jimmy Ward is a talented group. So the Browns receivers are in for a good matchup, obviously. But, the Texans defense is banged up. Will Anderson's going to likely be out. Blake Cashman, one of their top linebackers. So you hope the passing game can continue to stay hot, but at the same time, try to get more of a balanced offense out there, get the running game going, hopefully, and, ease some of the load on Joe Flacco because he's had to do a lot the last 3 weeks. So you got to hope Jerome Ford, Pierre Strong, Kareem Hunt can step up. The offensive line can get things back going, and the running game can get going again as well.
You mentioned, the secondary is pretty good. Does that scream screen game, Njoku? What do you think the passing game looks like?
I could definitely see the screen game being a factor here. Try to get, the tight end screens have been effective with Njoku this year. And as far as the running back screens, potentially get Pierre Strong out there in open space. We've seen what he's been able to do against Seattle with that 41-yard catch. But some of the screen game, some of the quick passing game, get, Njoku and Cooper going early. And then potentially, if you see a weakness, attack them in the deep game. Marquise Goodwin, Cedric Tillman was effective in the vertical game at Tennessee. Maybe get something going for him. As long as he runs the right route. We know he's had some of those mistakes the last couple of weeks, but they can get the screen game going. I think that'll open things up in the passing game for sure.
Browns have struggled on the road. How do they cure that? What does this one have to look like if the Browns are going to get their 10th win of the year?
I think forcing turnovers is the biggest thing on defense. We've seen it in Baltimore. We've seen it in other spots this season on the road where they have forced turnovers, and that's gotten the defense going. We've seen it in Indy. I mentioned the comeback against Baltimore. If they can force some turnovers, quiet the noise, especially in that enclosed environment in Houston, I think that can get the defense rolling. But they just got to apply the pressure on Keenum. Last week, Tennessee gave him 2.8 seconds to throw. His career average was 2.6. So they can get him to hold onto the ball a little longer, dial up some pressure by Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, among others on the defensive front. I think that'll force Keenum into making some bad decisions and hopefully lead some more turnovers on the defense and giving the Browns an opportunity to win.